place. Why don't you try going here? And if you watch it, it always goes towards the expansion of the experience for life. It does not cause you to say, I can't take it anymore, I'm going to end it all. No, it will not do that to you. Because that is not the natural way that it happens. But that is the deliberate way that some people choose because they feel as if they cannot go on. It is only a feeling, but from the feeling, that is what arises to match. So what I'm saying to you is, good, bad, or indifferent, wherever that mood or that feeling is predominantly, you have to experience it from there. But if you say, I don't want that, I want to go towards life, you will get the opportunity. It will present itself. The ideas towards life will present itself. Just as if you sit in the darkness, the desire to go into it will be there for you. It doesn't just come out of nowhere, is what I'm saying. I'm telling you how it occurs. So that the next time you catch yourself saying, oh, I'm having these kinds of thoughts, you're having those thoughts because you are in that mood. And those thoughts can only match the mood. So you see, my beautiful friends, you and I are not stuck. Sometimes it appears that way. And that's why my grandfather always told me, as long as you are alive, you can make a change. That's what he said to me. As long as you are alive, you can make a change. Do not be hasty to give in to the thoughts, but examine the thoughts that show you the mood. It's in you. So when you examine the thoughts, you'll be able to see what mood you're in. And when you see what mood you're in, you'll say, whoa, I now know why you're there. You know what? I want to experience something different. Now, what would it be like if I were experiencing it? How would I get up and see my day? How would I say hello to my neighbors? How would I go to work? All those things you would ask. How would I do these things? How would I do life if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? And then what happens from there? Because you are entertaining that mood, different thoughts arise. And you say, oh, I'd be doing this. Oh, wait, I'd be doing that. Oh, wait a minute, I'd be doing this one. Oh, I'd be doing them all. Yes, I would. The thoughts will emerge from the mood. Your thoughts are not random. And when you begin to become aware of who you are and how you do things, you'll recognize you can walk anywhere. And sometimes people's thoughts will get to you before they do. So that way you will realize, oh, well, that's not me. Because I've been noticing that really. I've been listening to people and they say, you know, lately I've been having these weird thoughts that are so uncharacteristic. And I'm saying to myself, that's because people's thoughts, like their reputations, precede them, you know. They are projected outward. As within, so without. So that's why you and I become aware of ourselves. So that when we feel something, we're like, whoa, that's out of character for me. That's not something I would normally do. Why am I telling you that? So that when it occurs, you don't think it's you and fall for it. They're called suggestions. All you get to do, listen, people sprinkle suggestions throughout the day. They're called commercials. They're called advertisements. They are suggestions. Next thing you know, you get a particular craving. You're like, wait, but I've never done that before. This is why we always start in the very same place, with the awareness of one's self. This is where we always start. Who am I? Where am I? What is my purpose? That's why we always start there. It is inevitable that we start there because of the first principle. Is mind, not brain. The brain is an organ, but mind is what makes the brain work. Mind is what causes you to breathe. Mind is what causes you to get up and walk. Mind is what causes you to go number 1 or 2. The awareness. It is the awareness. You and I cannot see the awareness because it isn't, quote unquote, invisible. Perhaps to the untrained eye it is invisible. But if you observe that which is visible, you get a sense of what the invisible is. That's why when I say to check your mood, this is what I'm talking about. People say, well, I don't know why I did that. You didn't take the time. I don't know why I do that. Observe yourself and you'll know exactly why you do it. There's nothing more glorious than looking at the self. When you look at the self, it's like, you see how vast it is? But it's so, for me at least, it is so overwhelming sometimes. The vastness. Because we think the self is just this little itty bitty body and you can pinch it, you know. You can bite it. Oh, it's just little old me. No. What is powering little old you? That's what gives you the power to change, my friends. So today, if you're going through it, a desire has already arisen from you to change. You've had a desire. It did not come from nowhere. It has emerged from you because of where you presently are, and that is natural. It is an effect because of the mental mood you are in. For instance, when I say it's been in us all along, the natural thing to do is want to eat if you are hungry. Naturally. Drink if you're thirsty. Naturally. If you're cold, the natural desire is warmth. If you're too hot, the natural desire is to cool down. Cause and effect. These are not mysteries. We live them every day. So if you don't have any money, the natural desire is to be able to pay your way. Especially with dignity, meaning you don't have to beg anybody. That's the natural desire. So if that's the natural desire, then the second question is, because you've done step 1, what would I like to be? You've answered it based upon where you are. The natural desire that emerges. Then step 2 is, what would I be doing? What would I be doing if? And you begin to explore, because the moment you ask that question, you are in a different mood and you will get a different set of thoughts, a different set of feelings that match. And when you recognize that that's what you're doing, oh, I would be doing this, I'd be doing that. Along comes a feeling. And that feeling will confirm for you, yes, that's exactly what I'd be doing. It, listen, your feelings always are confirmation of what you're thinking. As within, so without. Ponder that for a moment. Whatever that thing is that you're feeling, that mood that you're in, your thoughts and your actions and your words are going to match it. That's how come you can say, "Ooh, I didn't know they were so mad. I didn't know they were so happy." Why? Because you saw their actions. So sometimes, if we pay attention, you'll catch that feeling that tells you you are in confirmation. And we have a word called cognitive dissonance, but in actuality, pay attention to it. Cognitive dissonance is when you say one thing, but you're trying to convince yourself of it, but you already believe something else. I really want this to happen. I love it. I love you. But uh, there's something in the back of you that says that's not true. Or you flip it the other way around. So that's the best way I can describe cognitive dissonance, where it is you are doing this one thing, saying this one thing, and it is contrary. Remember, logic, this is what creates the cognitive dissonance. When we try to ignore the neurologic. Logically, we say, "Oh, I shouldn't do that." Logically. But neurologically it's been what you've been doing this whole time. So naturally, you're going to go towards it. It is your pathway, neurologically. So there's where those two things seem to fight each other. Logic and the neurologic begin to fight. But there's only going to be one winner. And it will not be logic. It will always be the neurologic that wins. Neville Goddard puts it this way. He says, it is always the feeling that will win out. The feeling is familiar. It's the neurological pathway that you've been doing this whole time. It is your what now? Your habit, your rhythm that you've been doing this whole time. But logically, you say, "Well, I don't want to do that." Logically, that's what you say. "I don't want to do that. I want to do something else." But because that neurological pathway is as old as Methuselah, because you've been doing it for so long, that is the thing you're going to do. So you don't fight it, because you can't win it. You cannot win against it. So what do you do instead? Because it may appear to be hopeless if you can't fight your neurology. The solution is right where the problem is. So if the problem that you're looking at is the neurologic self, the habits that you set down, well, then the solution is to make a new habit. Listen, don't get it twisted. Habits are very easy to make. Habits are very, very easy to make. It is you and I doing the same thing the same way every time. Let me give you an example. If you come home every day and you have a pint of beer or a glass of wine or a shot of whatever. I work at a liquor store, so I see a lot of things. If you come home and you do that every single day, and you've been doing it for more than 2 weeks, you have a habit. You have a habit because you've been doing it the same way every time. This is why I say, be cognizant, be aware. How did I get here? That escalated quickly. That's what we end up saying because we don't pay attention. Then whatever it is, I'll shower every day, yes, but Sunday, I want to soak in the bathtub every Sunday, especially because it helps you to unwind. Like it just gets you ready for the week. That's the habit. Because if I don't do it at a certain time, I'm like, and I am nudged to do it. It could be as simple as that, or eating the same thing, drinking the same thing, smoking the same thing. That is the principle of rhythm. Do the same thing the same way every time. And what you've conditioned yourself to do is to create a neurological pathway inside your brain so that every time, listen, you can go on holidays and you're going to get up the same time every day that you get up that you're not on holidays. Because it's a neurological pathway. You get up that time you do the same thing the same way every time. So look at your life. What is it that you are doing the same way every time? Now, how are you going to know? Because at first you might not see it, but I'm telling you, nothing is invisible. Do you know how you'll know? You will say to yourself, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep doing the same thing? But you see, sometimes we don't hear ourselves say it. It does not register. But if you're paying attention, you'll begin to see why you appear to be stuck. You're not stuck. You're just doing the same thing the same way every time. So how do you release yourself? Doing the same thing the same way every time. That thing will present itself to you, and you will get the opportunity to say, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. That's a country song, but I digress. You'll say that. Or you will say, I am tired of doing this. Ugh. So if you're tired of doing that, what would you prefer to be doing? Hello, little bit. You see, we tend to forget something very important. People say it all the time. The universe abhors a void. Well, of course it abhors a void, because every cause has its effect, and as within, so without. It always has to have that thing to balance. Cause and effect, within, without. It can't have a whole. So if you say, I don't want to do that, you must replace it with something else. What is that thing that you want to do instead? Yes, baby, I hear you. I'm almost done. He knows what time it is. He says, you got to go to work, girl. If you say, I don't want to do that, that's great. What do you want to do instead? You must go that direction, or you will continually do the same thing. So a habit is anything that you do the same way every time. And we've designed them in such a way to help us to do it. Humanity is funny that way. We designed them under the umbrella called ritual. But look at a ritual. What is a ritual? Something you do the same way every time. So why call it a ritual? A ritual allegedly gives something a place of reverence, but it doesn't have to be a ritual, because it isn't. It is the principle of rhythm. So if you want to change your life, step one, what do you want to become instead? This is why I tell you that complaining keeps you where you are. Because you can't have a void. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. So if you don't want to do A, then you have to do something else, or you will continually do A, because you cannot remain stagnant. Everything moves. So if you are going to take the time to complain, then whatever you're complaining about in your life has to remain the same.